I've never been so speechless in my life. It's like in my Deadpool review back in 2016. What did I just watch? The Fanatic. So The Fanatic is supposed to be this new psychological thriller film. This is the third one that's coming out this year. We got Greta and The Intruder, both really bad movies. And now this movie is directed by Fred Dunst and stars John Travolta. Yes, you know where this is coming, because John Travolta already made a shitty film last year called Gotti. Well, let's talk about this shit. So basically this film is about this man named Moose, and he is a big movie fanatic. And he is a fan of this action star named Hunter Denbar. And basically he's one of the most famous action stars out there. And he wants an autograph for him, but of course he rejected him because he's an asshole. So basically he ruins his life and stalks him just to get that autograph. Now the plot can be interesting, but I feel like this plot just transferred into the wrong hands of Fred Dunst, the director, and John Travolta. Now, there is a movie that came out in 2003 called The Room. Now, that movie was one of the worst movies ever made, but it's fun. It's a fun movie because it's one of the worst movies ever made.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up?
I have a problem with Lisa. She said that I hit her.
What? Well, did you?
No, it's not true. Don't even ask.
I never felt this way in a while, since now I've watched The Fanatic. This movie is definitely the worst movie of 2019. That is for sure. But this movie was great. It is hysterical. I can't explain it. Like, I enjoyed a really shitty movie. I never felt that way in a while since The Room. Most of the bad movies I take away too seriously. This movie, I had no choice to have fun with this bad, shitty movie. But still, this movie is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Probably the worst movie I've seen in 2019. Alright. Let's rant this shit. First, John Travolta. Now, in the past, John Travolta is a very famous actor. He's been in a lot of great movies like Saturday Night Fever, Grease, and probably his best movie, Pulp Fiction, directed by Quentin Tarantino, one of my favorite directors of all time. He's the director that fixed John Travolta and made him one of the best actors that time. And yes, he made some really over-the-top movies like Broken Arrow that's just a big guilty pleasure. But now, he made Gotti last year, which is one of his worst performances. I was wrong by that now because I think Moose in the movie played by him is one of the worst performances I've seen John Travolta in. How? How does John Travolta, like, sign in for this movie? Probably someone just tied him up in, like, some room or something and say, you gotta be in The Fanatic that I directed. It's gonna be terrible, but you gotta be in it because everyone's gonna love you in the film. And John Travolta's like, no, thanks. And he grabs a gun and just puts it on his face. And he's like, okay. I'll be in this shitty movie. That's what John Travolta felt like. He felt like he doesn't even listen to his lines. He just expresses it. Like the first line that comes out of his mouth in this movie is, I can't talk right now. I gotta poop. One of the best opening lines I have ever seen. And yes, right from that line, I knew this movie was going to be bad throughout the whole way through. All the lines by John Travolta in the movie is just fun. It is so entertaining to watch. Especially there is a part where he goes to this bachelor party and he talks to these women that he knows they're in films. And he said, your film is amazing and you got to be amazing in it. I just want to know, who wrote this shit? I want to meet that guy or that woman who wrote this movie. Because the writing is terrible. It is so terrible. It feels like it's been written by a 4-year-old. Like, if I was 4 years old, I would have wrote this movie. That probably won't happen because I wouldn't know about movies, but that's what this movie felt like. It felt like it's been written by a 4-year-old in this entire film. And every single decision that John Travolta makes is so terrible in this film. There is a scene in the movie where he wants to give a letter to Hunter Denbar, one of his favorite action stars. So what he does is, he climbs over the fence, he, of course, goes to his backyard, he throws the ladder in the middle of the backyard. Now, this comes to one of the most funniest death scenes I've seen in the film. Now, Hunter Denbar in the movie has a maid in the film. She went out to clean the backyard or something like that, and she saw the letter. And Moose is like hiding behind the bushes while he's waiting for Hunter Gimbar to basically read that note. But the maid is. So what he does is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. He comes out saying, "Don't read that letter! Don't read that letter!" And she's like hitting him. The maid is like hitting him with the freaking duster. And he's just like, stop hitting me! Like, he acts like a 4-year-old in this entire film. And then that comes to one of the most funniest death scenes I've seen. He pushes the maid into the fountain and she's unconscious. She's dead. And what John Travolta says after that, he's just like, "Oh, you hit your head. Oh, it's bleeding. I'm sorry. Like, you'll be fine." And then it just moves on for him stalking his house and all that stuff. Again, who wrote this shit? Let's talk about Hunter Gimbar in the film, played by that guy from the Final Destination movies. I don't know his name. But you're supposed to root for his character, because basically, Moose, played by John Travolta, is the antagonist. And Hunter Gimbar is supposed to be the protagonist in the film. But the problem is, you don't root for either of them, because they both made really shit decisions in the film. Basically, Hunter Gimbar is a dick. Like, he's not nice to John Travolta when you say, "Can I have your autograph?" He's just an asshole in the film. So who the hell you root for? Because also Moose stalks him, and he's supposed to be the villain in the movie. But Hunter is also the villain in the movie because he's mean to John Travolta, and he made him do that. So who would you root? Because they're both really dumb decision people in the film, characters in the film. Oh my god, like, there's not even a character you root for in this entire film. Also, there is a narration in the film. But what's really funny about it is that it's not by John Travolta. It's by his best friend in the film, which is this female character. I don't know who she's from. That doesn't make sense. It's supposed to take from John Travolta's perspective, and it took the perspective of the best friend. Why? Like, it makes no freaking sense, because she's not the main character in the film. She's not even in the film all that much. I guess they're trying to do something different, but it didn't work out. There's also a line moved by the narrator in the film that I was laughing my ass off. Here's a line right here. Moose didn't cross that line, but he effing nuked it. I said it the third time. Who wrote this shit? There's even like supporting characters like this cop in the film who knows that Moose is getting bullied by some people, and he just roots for him to defend himself. Not him trying to help because he's actually a cop. Oh my god, we gotta talk about the end of the film. It comes to the interrogation scene, where basically Moose tied Hunter up, and he was on the floor trying to pretend that he got killed, he committed suicide. And of course he wakes up and going, "I tricked you!" And then he went to get the Jason mask from, you know, Friday the 13th, and just pretended to stab him. And then, this is one of the best fight scenes I've seen since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And not in a good way. Hunter told, basically Moose, saying, "Don't worry, I'll give you the autograph, I'll show you the world, I'll give you everything," and obviously he's going to trick him. So, of course, Moose made a bad decision by untying him, and Hunter just beats the shit out of him. He's got a shotgun, he shot his fingers off, he shot his eye out. What? What the freaking hell are these characters? You don't root for the characters because they're both assholes in the entire film. And of course, Moose is like crying his ass off, and his cry is so hilarious in the film. I don't believe that's John Travolta at all. I feel like it's some Tommy Wiseau actor that's just stuck inside John Travolta. He was crying on the ground, but that's not the only thing that's hilarious about that ending. Of course, Hunter was trying to kill him. He's going to kill him. And then, of course, he's like, "Oh, I feel bad." So he lets him out of the door. Like, kindly. "Yeah, that's okay. My hands got shot. My eyes got shot. I'll be okay. Just get out of my house." And then Hunter got arrested. And he didn't even do anything like psychological. Moose should have been arrested. And then right at the end of the film, which I thought that is pretty clever how they did that. Where Moose, of course, is injured, you see his fingers off, his eyes, and everyone thinks it's a costume and everyone's liking him. I like that ending. That was probably my favorite aspect of this film. But that's the ending. But also the ending is so stupid because Hunter was arrested. and he didn't do anything wrong. Guys, The Fanatic is one of the worst movies I've seen in 2019, and it's one of the worst John Travolta performances I have seen ever. John Travolta, please, be in better movies, man. Like, Quentin Tarantino, hire him. I know Quentin Tarantino, I heard he's going to make a TV show or something like that. Put John Travolta in it and make him famous again, because this movie bombed in the box office. It's probably the biggest bomb of the year since Hellboy. Oh my god, The Fanatic is just every single way of one of the worst movies of 2019 you can possibly imagine. But also, with that, I enjoyed the living shit out of this movie. This movie is so bad that it's just hilarious. I never felt this way since The Room. I'm not even kidding. The Fanatic is so much fun. You can watch it with your friends and just laugh how terrible this movie is. Guys, The Fanatic is terrible. I would say don't spend your money to see this film. Wait till it's on Redbox and buy it and watch it with your friends. Because that's probably what I would do. I'm definitely going to give The Fanatic an F. So guys, that is my rant on The Fanatic. Guys, let me know what you think of this shit in the comments below. If you like the movie or hate the movie, or you think it's so bad and it's just hilarious, just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, and Twitter. Keep contacting me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest reviews, and have a nice day.